In the last half hour, we've had a new development. The army chief, General Chiwenga, has come out. He says there is now a roadmap for the future, and he has talked of President Mugabe being in touch with the ousted Vice President Mnangagwa. But when you look at the words which were uttered by the general and the statement that he made, it begins to look as if there's a little bit of wriggle room in there. It begins to look as if, roads can be quite long in Zimbabwe. They can go on for miles and miles. And there is this party congress in December. So it's beginning to make people wonder if perhaps he's not going to go today, tomorrow, as many demand, but exit with dignity during the ZANU Party Congress in December. We don't know that, and we don't know what the ousted Vice President Mnangagwa wants. Apparently the two of them are talking. At the same time, there's something going on another front, which is that members of his Zanu-PF party say they're going to start in Parliament tomorrow impeachment. Now, what does that mean? They say, oh, that's going to take a couple of days. It could take weeks. It could take much longer. But they say that's the route they're going, impeachment. They used to be Mugabe's men. Today, Zanu-PF delegates resolved to impeach him for allowing his wife to usurp government powers and for flouting the rule of law.
The party has instructed the chief whip to proceed with impeachment processes against Comrade Mugabe, as it has not received the anticipated confirmation of his resignation from the Speaker of Parliament.
Last night, the president defied military chiefs who, like the general public, seem to expect him to resign. He's even called a cabinet meeting for tomorrow, ignoring the army's demand that he step down.
Whatever the pros and cons of the way they went about registering those concerns, I, as the President of Zimbabwe and as their Commander-in-Chief, do acknowledge the issues they have drawn my attention to.
No matter that his ZANU-PF party had just sacked him as leader.
Congress is due in a few weeks from now. I will preside over its processes, which must not be prepossessed by any acts calculated to undermine it. Let us all move forward, reminding ourselves of our wartime mantra. Iweneni tinebasa. I thank you and good night. Sorry, one or two places. I hope we can correct that. It's a long speech.
A long speech or the wrong speech?
Asante sana.
Were the generals, like the watching public, expecting him to go? Instead, he'd said in Shona that they had work to do together. And with that, it was over. At the University of Zimbabwe, they were protesting today. We want change, they shouted. Kick him out.
The people who matter want him to go, and he's going to go. Without fail and without fear, he's going to go.
The students say they're not going to stop protesting now. It's not just that they want President Mugabe to step down and they want the university to remove the degree that was given to his wife, Grace Mugabe. They're thinking about their future. They say they support this man now, Emerson Mnangagwa, the vice president. But also, it's the economy. The fact that when they graduate, they say they're going to be no jobs. Their currency is worthless. Actually, they're protesting about everything they think is wrong in Zimbabwe.
We will never turn back.
Yes! Tomorrow, Parliament is set to start impeachment proceedings. But the students have little faith in the process.
there's definitely going to be violence in Zimbabwe if the impeachment doesn't happen. Yes, they want us to claim that they're going to remove him through parliament later. Okay, we're waiting for that. Let that happen, because we are tired of the same thing. Some families are living over $2 in a week. $2. Okay, maybe some families are living okay. We're at university. Some of us haven't even paid our school fees. We have debt till last year just because there's no money.
This morning, veterans of the Liberation War held a press conference calling for Zimbabweans to descend on Harare tomorrow, demanding the impeachment of the president.
Now we want even more support. It will be a sit-in until Mugabe's back is seen by the people of Zimbabwe. We are not going to be leaving Harare until he's gone. This time, we want to see his back now. Mugabe, your rule is over. The emperor has no clothes. Thank you very much.
This evening, the former Zambian leader Kenneth Kaunda, who's also 93, was dispatched to talk to Mugabe. He stepped down at a youthful 67 and has lived out a long and seemingly happy retirement.
I'm now joined by Terence Mukupe, who's the Zanu-PF MP for Harare East. Mr. Mukupe, are you going to vote for impeachment tomorrow?
That's what everyone expects, and that's what I feel that that's a right thing to do.
Why? You supported this man for so long, all your political life. You benefited from him, from human rights abuse, from corruption, all of these things you've been doing.
That's interesting that you point out that we benefited from corruption and human rights abuse. It's an allegation that's unfounded. I'm someone who's relatively new in politics, and I think the reason why I'm in Zanu-PF is that I believe in the founding principles of Zanu-PF. I believe in the constitution of Zanu-PF. So whatever evils that the president might have done is not a reflection of every member of Zanu-PF. But there's also some good things that he did for this country as well. But everything has to come to an end. He's old, he has to retire. It's not that we don't love our president. We love him. Everybody loves President
Oh, not
Mugabe.
everybody.
I can assure you, we love our president. So this has got nothing to do with the person, but it's all about the fact that there's a time when you have to rest. And all we're saying that is that it's time for him to rest.
And what is that time? Because the military tonight was talking about a roadmap. They were saying that the ousted vice president, now restored Emerson Mnangagwa, is in touch with President Mugabe. It's beginning to sound like rather a protracted process.
I can assure you that in 48 hours, President Mugabe will be gone.
You can assure me of that?
I can assure you, I can guarantee you that. Because what's basically happening is that tomorrow we're going into Parliament and we're passing a motion to impeach him. After we pass the motion to impeach him, there's going to be a 9-member committee that's going to investigate the allegations that are being tabled in the motion. So
it's a stitch-up?
Call it whatever you want. It's a political process. Everything that happens in Parliament is not a legal process, but it's a political process. But it's a political process that's founded on the constitution of the country. So what's going to happen is that they will come back with the report on Thursday, and Thursday we're going to vote the president out of power.
What guarantees do you think he will be given for himself and his family?
He's got nothing to worry about. No one is threatening his life. Like I told you, we love our president.
But what about prosecution and so on? I mean, particularly for the First Lady, because there are allegations against her.
Yes, I think the First Lady has to face the music. If she's stolen any money, she has to face the music. If she's done any abuses, if she's abused the law, she has to face the music.
But for a dignified exit, if he demands that she does not face the music, which we understand may be one of the conditions, let it go.
Then he should have resigned if he wanted a dignified exit. And that's why you find, everyone was saying, that the offer on the table was for him to become an elder statesman. For him, by him becoming an elder statesman, he was going to remain with all the privileges that he's got right now. But if we're going to have to take him out of power, it's going to be a different ballgame altogether. But one thing that you can be guaranteed, even if we take him out of power through impeachment, we're still going to respect him as an elder statesman.
And Emerson Mnangagwa, who's likely to be the new president, he's been there forever too. He's participated in their system. Can he really bring change?
What's wrong with that? He's learned from someone.
Poverty, corruption, the running down of the economy, torture, all of those things. I can go into a whole
argument with you about that. Don't take away the effect of the sanctions. You know for a fact that we can't get any balance of payment support. Give me one African country.
What change will he bring? In one word, what change do you hope for that he'll bring?
He listens.
He listens?
He listens.
to the people.
He listens to the people. And like if you're to meet anyone who's ever dealt with Emmerson Mnangagwa, he's a good listener, he's a fatherly figure, and he rules by consensus.